thump. Ah, come on, you stupid tape. Finish loading. Okay, I think it's F2? Okay, it's this one. You should be able to move. So you're moving the white one, and I'm moving the red one.
We kind of need to set up, maybe.
Okay, the controls are more or less this. Press up and forward to do a punch. Press up and backward to punch in the opposite direction. Pressing up does a slight hop. And it looks like you're learning a lot so far with the
I'm just mashing my D-pad.
That's one way of doing it. Nice.
Donk.
It's all in reaction time.
And I hit you in the balls.
Your thoughts?
Kind of awkward when the way you attack is the same things you use to move. It'd be so much easier if movement was its own thing and fighting was something else. Is this how it was played even back then?
Yeah.
How the hell did people play this game? It's like awkward as hell.
The DE9 connector was like the USB of the day. Every game console company operated with this type of standard, which only allowed for like one or two buttons. The Commodore relied on Atari controller standards.
God, when you had gamepads that had multiple buttons, that was probably the most amazing thing that's happened ever with gaming.
It was kind of hard for me to adapt to the NES. A pad instead of a joystick, and my God, two action buttons and two buttons that did other things like start the game. That was hot
I
shit.
kind of lost a little control.
What's up?
I'm losing. I just lost a little bit of control. I can't move left or right.
Oh, that's because it defaulted back to the normal game. Notice how it says. Notice how it says white belt underneath. That means I'm now fighting the computer.
Ah.
Yeah, you're only allowed a certain amount of time, and then the match ends, and you go back to the normal game.
Ah.
Let me go back to the 2-player game.
All right, there we are. But yeah, I guess I was spoiled because the very first console I ever played was the NES. And then I remember, 92 Christmas, the Super Nintendo. 4 buttons, 2 shoulder buttons as well, and the D-pad, and a start select. So many buttons. God, I kept thinking like all the controls that you could do with games with that kind of ability.
Would you believe me if I told you this was actually available for the Nintendo Wii?
As it currently is, or did they at least update controls or whatnot?
As it is.
That must have been interesting.
Yeah, it's just a shame that after a certain event happened, don't know what exactly it was, but all Commodore games were pulled from the Virtual Console.
My guess is there would probably have to be some kind of licensing issue. At least that's what I'd guess.
Either way, I'm glad I got this when I could. Of course, I found out that the UK had a couple more recognizable games like Jumpman and Impossible Mission. Meanwhile, we just had stuff like International Karate, Pit Stop 2, and a couple of others.
Back of the head.
I punch you in the butt.
Yeah, better than the nut punches you kept giving. Donk.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit F3 one more time and start the 2-player game again.
Nut punch.
Now, here's how... You know how to do flips yet?
No.
Okay. Hold the action button and press up and forward. Or the fire button, that works too. Is that you?
Yeah.
I see. I saw you do a flip. They reset the game too.
I'm noticing that as well.
That
Kind of annoying.
Sense.
I noticed it's doing that when it's tied to the action button.
Hang on. You saw that, didn't you? Okay, try it now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Try, yeah, you can do flips now. Awesome.
But yeah, again, I still wonder.
I think I know now what was going on. It was reacting to my X pattern, which it was set for FPS games that didn't have joystick support. So it was pressing a button that was resetting the game.
Oh.
So now you know how to do flips. Press up in the fire button, and you'll do karate kicks like that. And there you go. Now you're going up against the computer. Another maneuver, if you press down and away, that will let you do the punch. Down and away lets you punch forward. Holding the button down and pressing down will punch in the will do a duck punch in the opposite direction. And you've already learned how to foot sweep. Just press down. Press down and toward to do a high kick. Hold the fire button and press toward to do a straight kick. And there's another maneuver you could do, but it hardly ever connects, but it looks awesome. Yeah, as soon as you enter your name, I'll start another 2-player game.
You're so cute.
Yeah, the next one you can do, hold the fire button and press back.
Kiri. I hold the pose. That makes me more intimidating, right?
That's another maneuver you can do. You can hold down and toward while holding fire. You'll do a leg trip. Very nice. Now, I know it's corny to even compare it to this, but Larry Zabisco did put it best. It is kind of like human chess. Everything depends on what move you make.
And if it decides to count the hitbox.
The furthest I ever got was a brown belt. That's how nasty it can get. Because you start with like you start with a white belt and you move on to a yellow belt. When I was a wee little tot, I could never get past a green belt.
I can only imagine what black belt is like.
I have never made it to a black belt. I'll hang back and wait for you to catch up. Just doing the flips has got to be a bitch and a half. I have to say, for the brick breaking, you've got the timing down perfect.
I think it's just luck. I genuinely don't know what you're supposed to do here. Dodge?
You have to dodge all the stuff. Of course, you also have to know what is coming, and it doesn't help if you don't know what's coming. Sir, I do believe you're ready. Now that you are in the single-player game, the scoring system has changed. You have to get 2 full points to win. Just be aware that your opponent will get smarter. And while impressive, the roundhouse kick barely ever connects. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. And now I'm going to